Hello and welcome. Thank you for your interest in Carson's Garden and Market, our iconic Christmas markets tour. I'm going to begin this presentation with a little bit of information, and then I'll welcome our special guest star, Neil Dudley from AmaWaterways, to lead us through the details about why you want to sail with AmaWaterways and what you can expect to see on this amazing itinerary. So, let's start with a warm welcome and thank you for joining us on Christmas Markets on the Danube. Our departure date from Canada will be November 23rd. We're going to be doing 2 nights in Budapest pre-cruise, the 7-night river cruise on the Danube, and then a 3-night post-cruise stay in Prague, returning home on December the 6th, just in time for Christmas and all of your packages. Our agenda will tell you a little bit about your host for this trip. Get a special invite from Carson himself. Let's go into the details of the Christmas markets on the Danube, the tour pricing and our early booking bonus that we have, what's included and what's not, how to secure your place on this trip, and then a call to action. So for those of you who know Carson, you know all of the following details, but for some of you who don't, Carson is a landscape design artist and a TV personality known throughout North America. He is on television worldwide, actually. He is very good at teaching homeowners how to raise the value of their property through outdoor rentals, but always in keeping in mind the environmentally friendly approach that he has. He's been on City TV, HGTV, Discovery Network, Hallmark Channel, and many more. He writes an article for the Halifax Herald, Sun Media Group, and numerous magazines. His radio show, Take It Outside with Carson Arthur, is very popular and is on Saturdays from the fall right through the whole season. His garden and market was a design of his to showcase some of the favorite products that he's worked with over the years. And if you've been to his garden market location in the county, you know it well. It's a beautiful location. But if you haven't, make sure you visit him on Wilson Road in Prince Edward County. You'll be glad that you did. Well, Expedia Cruises is a full service travel agency. Even though cruise is in our name, we offer all products. We have 3 locations: our Coburg store, Belleville, and Kingston to serve you. We're part of 300 stores in North America, and we are the #1 retailer of cruise vacations in Canada. Our consultants are well trained and well traveled, and we have experience with hosted group tours, but it's our attention to detail that's surpassed by none in making it a memorable trip for you, carefree. Hosts for this tour from Expedia Cruises will be myself, Dan Wheeler, and my partner, Dale Betts. We are residents of Prince Edward County, and we're co-owners of these 3 locations. We've got extensive business and travel background. We have a passion for people, and we love hosting tours. We did travel with Carson in 2022 when we did Holland and Belgium. And then we're doing his 2024 Ireland tour next month. And both of these tours sold out within about 4 to 6 weeks of opening. We will take care of you from start to finish and make sure you have a flawless vacation. As far as AmaWaterways, they are the top rated river cruise line in the world. They are family owned and operated, which is a very special thing these days. And we know the owners of the company personally. They've been on the rivers for more than 21 years. Ama means love, which Neil is going to tell you more about. They are easy to work with. They're a phenomenal organization, and they are our go-to. They are our choice to work with. The support is unbelievable, and the service they offer us as far as agents and you as far as clientele and on the ship is surpassed by nobody. And they have the best value of all river lines. In fact, one of their previous competitors confided in me that he said AmaWaterways is the best value for money, even over his product. So that tells you something about the brand. So Carson and Kevin cordially invite you to join them on a dream trip of a lifetime. Celebrate all things festive and European as we explore the iconic Christmas markets on the Danube River. Come with us and make memories to last a lifetime on another Travel with Carson cruise tour adventure. I'm going to turn it over to Neil now, who I've known for a number of years. Neil, thank you for taking the time to do this, and I appreciate you sharing your expertise. You have traveled this itinerary more than once, have you not, my friend?
I will say the Crystal Market's my absolute favorite river cruise experience, and I've had the privilege of doing a lot of them, and it really is my favorite to do over in Europe, just because it really blends something unique that's European, along with the amazing sights you'd see on a regular river cruise experience. So thank you, Dan, for having me, and I'm happy to take everybody through a bit more about the product itself. And like we said at the beginning, Dan actually alluded to the fact that we are a family-owned and operated company, and that's true, very unique. Two main families since our inception just over 21 years ago. You've got Rudy and Christine there, husband and wife team from Germany and Austria. So really bringing a lot of great in-depth knowledge to our main destination, of course, which is Europe, along with the Murphys from Ireland in the US. So internationally owned and operated company. And that truly is reflected in the product itself. So sometimes people will say, where does the name AmaWaterways come from? Well, folks, when our owners decided to get together 21 plus years ago and really build this company, they really want to forever show their true love and passion for this very unique form of travel. So if there's anybody listening who remembers your Latin lessons from old, you'll know that Ama actually means love, and that is where the name AmaWaterways comes from, to really highlight their love for the river cruising experience. So I love to show this slide, folks, because there's a very good chance that a lot of you have ocean cruised and maybe you've not yet taken a river cruise before, although hopefully you were on Carson's first river cruise with us back in 2022. But for those of you who have not taken a river cruise, maybe you've only ever ocean cruised. And I love to show this slide because yes, we are a cruising experience, but it truly does show the difference between us and our ocean cruising cousins. On a river cruise, folks, you are always within sight of land. Different port of call each and every day, generally arriving on breakfast, staying right through till dinner, late nights, and overnights in a number of ports of call. And of course, a much more intimate cruising environment with an average of 155 guests on board our European ships. So really, really is an incredible way to see all of these fascinating cities and towns that are really anchored along the rivers of Europe. So at AmaWaterways, folks, we say we are leaders in innovation, and it's not just something that our marketing department came up with, but it's based on the fact that Rudy down there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, not just one of our owners, he's actually the architect and designer of every single one of our ships, always bringing out something new and innovative that the world of river cruising has never seen before. And as a result, Rudy is actually known as the godfather of river cruising in our industry. We had the ships for the first time that ever came out with outdoor balconies. This is part of the AmaWaterways difference. First ships to have a wellness host on board, have a fitness center on board. And of course, folks, sometimes, you may have heard of this before, that we sometimes have to face some issues that our ocean cruising cousins do not. And that's sometimes water levels can be too high or too low. But with AmaWaterways, folks, another one of the main differences, Rudy knew all about this. Designed our fleet of ships to have the shallowest draft of any river cruise line, only needing about 4 feet of water underneath us in order to be able to cruise, always putting you in the best position possible to get that beautiful luxury river cruise experience. Now, folks, we've got a fleet of 29 sister ships, and we say sister ships because every time Rudy builds a new ship, might be coming out with something new and innovative on the ship, the other ships get retrofitted to have these as well, so that we know you are always getting that same onboard AmaWaterways experience, no matter which ship you are actually sailing on. So let's talk about the ships themselves, folks. There are 3 levels on all of our ships of different accommodation. You've got the picture window staterooms. You've got the French balcony suites, right up to what we call the signature twin balcony suites. Now, we were the very first river cruise line to bring out ships with outdoor balconies, but we like to think that we've perfected that balcony experience. Now, in all of your cabins, there, of course, is the iMac entertainment system, so all of your music, movies, TV channels. Wi-Fi is complimentary throughout your entire cruise, no matter what device you decide to bring. But folks, when it comes to our balcony suites, there's the picture in the top middle. That's the typical outdoor balcony. Couples able to sit outside, enjoy all of the lovely views. And folks, there is always something to see, day or night. And especially during the holiday season when Europe is truly lit up like a Christmas tree, we tend to sell from top down to bottom. The balconies are the first ones to go, but we know, especially with this cruise, might not always be the nicest weather outside for you to sit outside on the balcony. So if you can see on the next slide there, you're going to see that, folks, we actually have an indoor and an outdoor balcony. So when it's a bit cooler to sit outside, why not enjoy that beautiful indoor French balcony experience? Ceiling to floor windows there, as you can see, table and 2 chairs. So always able to enjoy the beautiful views, no matter what the weather, no matter what the temperature. This is the joy of the twin balcony suites. That just shows the balcony is a much better highlight, as you can see. So again, if it's a bit cool, not a worry, folks. You've got that full 360-degree access to see all of the beautiful sights along the rivers of Europe.
We loved having the twin balcony exactly for those reasons that you mentioned. We would often come back to our stateroom at the end of the evening, maybe have a little glass of something to drink, and sit on the balcony, peace and quiet. All you hear is the swoosh of the water going by, and your land is so close. You can see everything going on, the beautiful parks, the lights. It was one of the highlights was our evenings to ourselves on the deck afterward, after the night's activities.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know a lot of people have been on the ocean ships before. They've enjoyed the beautiful balconies, but the problem is that you don't always get a chance to see some things. Maybe you're out in the ocean. Obviously, on the rivers, as you've said, Dan, you're always able to see things. And especially during the holiday market season, all the little towns, villages are truly lit up. It really is an authentic European experience. And of course, speaking of authentic European experiences, we want to entertain you every evening when we are cruising. So, picture in the top left, that's a shot of the main lounge. That's the main hub of activity. That's where the cruise managers give his or her port talks every evening. This is where locally themed entertainment happens as well. So something locally themed to the area. And after they are done, we've got our onboard musician to play music into the later hours as well. But if you want a quieter area to relax, that is not a problem. We've got our little library lounge, fireplace, some books to read. On the opposite side is our 24-hour cafe and lounge. Coffee, tea, espresso available whenever you'd like. And in each of our lounges throughout the day, we've also got complimentary tapas for you to enjoy as well. Now, speaking of food, folks, this is an area we truly do shine. But what I love is when you're going through all of Europe and these Christmas markets, and just to see how festive all the locals are, all the markets, all the cities and towns, I can tell you the two gentlemen that actually run our European office, they strive to make sure that that full holiday spirit that you are enjoying on shore is everywhere on board as well. So the ships are decked out. All the staff gets truly involved with all of the experiences. So it really does add to that magical river cruising experience. And of course,
Your
part of that
ships
is
are
enjoying. Sorry?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say your ships are gorgeous. I can't wait to see them at Christmas. I've seen the photos, but I'm sure in person they are absolutely stunning.
I forgot you've not done a Christmas markets cruise. You are going to be blown away, my friend. Trust me, this is out of this world spectacular. So now, speaking of spectacular, that is also the food on board, folks. And we have multiple dining venues for you to enjoy as well. So the picture in the top left, that's a shot of the main dining room. 170 seats on average in our restaurants. We've got about 155 guests on board. What that means, it's open seating. Come and dine whenever, wherever you like. Tables of 2, 4, 6, or 8 for you to enjoy. Now, lunch and dinner are an elevated a la carte dining experience for you to enjoy. But breakfast, bit of a hybrid experience because oftentimes the tours, of course, are going in the morning. And some people, myself included, are not exactly the best morning people. So we've put out a buffet at breakfast for you to enjoy if you just want to quickly come down, get something. Or you can also go down for that full 5-star elevated a la carte dining experience at breakfast as well. In addition to the dining room, you've got these private wine rooms to the left and to the right-hand side. So if you're traveling with a group of friends, you can actually dine in there for a bit more of an intimate dining experience. And then at the back of the ship, we've got the Chef's Table restaurant. Seats about 28 guests, totally different menu than what you're going to find in the main restaurant. Bit of an interactive culinary experience, truly is a highlight. And Dan, I think you guys have some special plans for the Chef's Table restaurant during this cruise too, don't you?
Yes, just like we did on the first Carson trip, we, as a group and as a good sized group, we were given priority access to pick the nights that we wanted, and we had guidance on that. So we would block 2 different nights for our group, and we had tables, 3 different sets of tables of 10 set up. And people just enjoyed themselves. We did dine arounds, we interacted with the chefs. It was a fantastic experience because the back half of the ship where this restaurant is, that's all a wall of glass, and it's absolutely stunning as you dine there in the evening.
Yeah, it's great. Now, folks, if there's anybody listening, and I know a lot of you might be in the county, so you might be foodies. Tabaleo Bears and Shenderota Sur, these are the 2 oldest gastronomic societies in the world. Any true 5-star restaurant really wants this designation. It's based on their food, wine, and service. And we are the only river cruise line to have ever achieved either of these designations. And of course, folks, if you have any sort of dietary restrictions, healthy options that we need to be made aware of, just let the team at Expedia Cruises know when you're making a reservation. We will make sure our chefs are aware, and they will create an equally impressive array of meals with your specific healthy options in mind as well.
Neil, there's not a surcharge for your private wine room. We just have to book it in advance. Is that correct?
No, no, there's no surcharges for anything on board, nothing at all. These, it's first come, first serve. So if the wine room's open, go and dine in there. You don't pre-reserve them or anything like that, but you can go down and grab one of those wine rooms if you want to have a bit more of an intimate experience. So
On the first Carson trip, we had that room one night and we had a bunch of couples in there, and two were celebrating birthdays and one couple was celebrating an anniversary. And it was just a spectacular night. The food and beverage team bent over backwards to make it amazing for them. So it's quite spectacular.
yeah, I mean, it's like a private dining experience, really, which is great. Now, the food honestly is spectacular, but these are the Christmas markets, and there are things that every city and town that we go to has their own unique culinary delights, and we bring those on board the ship. So the chefs are actually adding additional culinary things for you to enjoy during the festive season. So if we are obviously in Hungary, it's going to be something traditionally Hungarian. If you're over in Germany, so it really is spectacular, not just the decorations, not just the staff, the cuisine on board as well. So some of the other onboard services that we've got, folks, if you are the kind of cruiser likes to get a massage or get your hair done, there are those services available on board. As I mentioned, we've got a full-time wellness host offering complimentary classes both on board and on shore. We've got the fitness center on. We've got about 20 or 25 bikes free of charge for you to take out in any port of call, should you wish to do so. We also have guided cycling tours operating on every cruise. And yes, these are still going during the holiday markets season. And of course, we've got the rooftop heated pool. Great area for you to relax and enjoy. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. It is open 24/7. It is open our entire season. But folks, on an AmaWaterways river cruise, you can also bring on board whatever you like and enjoy it wherever you want, because we really want you to enjoy your experience exactly how you wish to do so. So if you buy something at duty free, bring it on board, no problem. Enjoy it in the lounge, in the restaurant, up at the pool. Same for when you're on tours. You might go off to a beautiful winery, sample one of their wines. Go on, folks, bring that on board. And again, enjoy it wherever you like. Enjoy your AmaWaterways experience exactly how you wish to do so. And Dan, that next slide is going to show the pool in full glory. And what I love about this, folks, is yes, I know we're talking about the holiday market season, but it is a rooftop heated pool. So yes, we do tend to turn the temperature up a bit more, almost to hot tub levels during the November and December timeframe. But I always like to encourage my fellow Canadian travelers, please bring your swimwear, go up and enjoy that beautiful pool experience, because it's the perfect opportunity for you to meet your fellow Canadian travelers, because we're usually the only ones using the pool at that time. So let's talk about what's included, folks. Pretty much everything is included with AmaWaterways. Of course, all of your meals are included, all of your drinks with all of your meals. So unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks. As I mentioned before, whatever you bring on board, that is also part of your package. We also have our sip and sail program. It's essentially like a happy hour, unlimited beverages, whether these are alcoholic or non-alcoholic, leading right up till dinner time begins. All of your tours are included, folks. There are no optional excursions whatsoever. We try to put no more than 15, 20 guests to a tour guide to ensure a first-class touring experience. And the guides will be using the AudioVox system. So you've got a set of headphones that you put in to hear the tour director as clear as possible. Now, folks, in some of the larger cities and towns, we give you a choice of activities, 5, 6, sometimes 7 different tours. You decide what it is you would like to see and do, and that is all part of your AmaWaterways experience. Now, these could be a gentle paced tour if there's anybody with mobility issues, regular paced, or if you want to be a bit more active, you can do that as well. Tour selections open about 30 days prior to your sailing in the My AmaCruise app, which I'm about to talk about next. But if you get on board, decide you've changed your mind, not a problem. After listening to the cruise manager's speech, you can change your selection on the tour, because they'll never be sold out. Only one of you wants to do the tour, or the entire ship wants to do it, it will never be sold out. So you always get to customize your touring experience. But my favorite enhancement came out in 2019. And again, we're the first river cruise line to bring out our own app for you to use it both before, during, and after your river cruise. Now, beforehand, folks, it has all sorts of great information on the cruise, the ship, the tours, etc. But my favorite part of this app happens when you're on board. Now, I will assume everybody listening has taken a guided tour at some stage in your life. That means you've listened to a tour guide take you all around an area, tell you all about those sites, and of course, You take picture upon picture upon picture to remember all of these beautiful sights. And you get back home after your beautiful river cruise experience and you start looking back through those hundreds and hundreds of pictures that you've taken. And you look back through some of these going, I have absolutely no idea what that is, let alone why I took a picture of this place. So folks, if you take all of your pictures now through the My AmaCruise app, as you can see here, all of the notes the tour guide gave you on that day can automatically be linked to the pictures you took that day. Forms into your own digital photo album for you to look at for years and years, and remember every part of your AmaWaterways river cruise experience. And with one simple click, it's uploaded to your favorite social media site, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. So folks, let's talk about where it is that we cruise and your cruise in specific. So this is the map of everywhere that we cruise in Europe, and of course some exotic locales outside of continental Europe. But we are going to talk about the iconic Christmas markets, folks. This is a beautiful 7-night experience, which takes you along the Danube. It's going to take you from Budapest up to Nuremberg. So that next slide will show the beautiful itinerary in a bit more focused detail, of course. And folks, there are pre and post packages. So yes, the cruise itself is 7 nights, but if you would like to extend either before or after, there are these pre and post packages, which I will talk about. The whole group does not have to do these, folks. It really is up to you, because maybe you've been to Prague before. Not a problem. For those of you who haven't, there'll be a 3-night extension over into Prague. Same thing with Budapest, giving you an opportunity to actually stay in Budapest a little longer as well. And this core package, like I said, is 7 nights between Budapest and Prague. So folks, let's talk about pre and post packages first before we get into the main part of the cruise itself. So if you'd like to come into Budapest a little early, there's a 2-night centrally located package that we do at a 5-star hotel. What is exclusive to AmaWaterways, folks, is even when you go and do these pre and post packages, they are escorted by the same cruise manager that you will be sailing with. And that is great, because especially if you've never been to these cities before, obviously we're including sightseeing tours, we're including breakfast, but you do have some free time to explore. So what better way to be able to find out all of these great hidden gems than to be able to ask your cruise manager who is there to guide you. Now, when you do the pre-nights in Budapest, actually going to be taking you off some areas of Budapest that you won't see on the regular tours that are included once the cruise begins. We call it the Hidden Budapest Tour because it goes off some really unique areas, including the Hospital in the Rock, really unique experience and such. So like I said, that will be happening if you do the pre-package. And the 3-night post package is in the stunning city of Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. Absolute beautiful city in the in Europe, of course. Some stunning Christmas markets for you to enjoy there as well. You'll get the regular sightseeing tour of Prague. You'll also get to go off and see the markets. And then on the second day, because it's a 4-day, 3-night package, you're actually going to get to go and do a Czech beer tasting tour, something the Czech Republic is world renowned for. But let's get into the cruise.
Included, Neil. We are in part of our package. It's an entire package. We're selling it as the cruise and the land. They are getting the 2 nights and the 3. So they've got the whole package for a phenomenal deal. And we have great land rates on the pre and post as well.
Oh, didn't even know that part, Dan. That's incredible, because truly nobody wants to go over for 7 nights anymore. I know this. Every time I'm talking to clients, to agents, all the other stuff, everyone's always wanting to go for 2-3 weeks. So this is great that you've included it all, because really is a way to see some of these magical areas before and after the cruise. That, you know, Prague obviously is not on the river, so spectacular experience. But the cruise itself, folks, starts in Budapest, and there is an overnight in Budapest on the ship itself. So when you are obviously coming in, you've got those nights there, you're going to go board the cruise, and you're going to have this overnight experience. So it's the following day, which we're actually going to do a regular sightseeing tour of Budapest, okay? So this is done on the coach because the city of Budapest is known as 2 cities. The Danube River actually divides it. It was the city of Buda and the city of Pest. The main Christmas market is the Vörösmarty Square. This is in the main heart of Budapest. So when you're going around doing the tour, there's obviously time for you to explore this Christmas market. Now, there's about 3 or 4 different Christmas markets, so you will have extra time, especially with the pre-package, to see some of the smaller Christmas markets. Again, the cruise manager will be able to guide you through as to where all of these are. Really magical. What I love about the Christmas market, it is unique to Europe, and every single city and town has their own unique crafts and foods and mulled wines. So every single Christmas market that you go to is its unique experience. That is what really makes it an incredible program. So we will be sailing out of Budapest, folks, late afternoon. I think you're basically back on board in time for dinner, and it's going to be a late sail away, overnight sailing experience. And the next day, you're ending up in what is definitely going to be one of the highlights, folks. It is Vienna, and we are here for a late night experience. Now, your tour in the morning is a standard city sightseeing tour done on coach and walking. So you take coach to part of it, and then you'll walk through. The old part of Vienna is about 15 minutes away from where the ship docks. That's because the city of Vienna has grown up huge, and the actual Danube River that's in old Vienna is really not very big at all. It's beautiful area, of course, but that's why we have to do the tour by coach. You can also do it by bike if you want to be a bit more active and it's a beautiful day. You can do a guided cycling tour in and around the area. Folks, there are 7 Christmas markets scattered throughout Vienna. So you've got the afternoon free, you've got the evening free, of course, and you can go and explore these markets. I will say probably about 75% of the guests, after they do the morning tour, they will stay in the city of Vienna instead of going back on board for lunch. Now, there are shuttle buses running every 20 minutes from the heart of Vienna over to the ship. It takes about 10 or 12 minutes really to get into town. Or if you've wandered all over and you are ending up nowhere near where the shuttle bus picks up, it's not a problem. 3 subway stops away from the whole heart of Vienna, you can get within 5 minutes of the ship. So super, super easy to wander around. They've got some beautiful night markets. Folks, Vienna is also world famous for their classical music and their musical performances and such. And sometimes we have guests that want to go see one of these experiences, and that will be available to you if you'd like to do that. And we'll talk a bit more about that later on as well. But like I said, it's a late night stay in Vienna, of course, overnight. This is another one of the Christmas markets that we have on the Schönbrunn Palace, the royal family's home, of course, in Austria. So again, spectacular. And folks, even the 7 markets of Vienna are all different products, mulled wines, culinary experiences that you're going to see. So really is great to be able to add all of these in to the regular inclusions that you get on a regular river cruise experience. Now, it's not all about the big cities, of course, on the Danube. You've got some stunning little towns and villages that we stop in, and Melk is certainly one of them. Oldest Benedictine abbey left in Europe. It dates back centuries, folks. And you will be getting a tour of the abbey, of course, into the area. You'll see the oldest pipe organ, of course, in the world in there as well. You can do this on a walking tour. You can do this on a cycling tour as well. And in the afternoon, because you're in Melk in the morning, we're actually doing a scenic cruising day through the Strudengau Valley. Again, beautiful wineries, stunning sights to see. So we want to give you some daytime cruising to enjoy these beautiful sights as well. So folks, the next morning we are arriving into Passau. Now, Passau is a beautiful city, of course, some stunning things to see here, but from Passau, you've got a number of tours that you can choose from on the day. So you can certainly do a city tour of Passau. It's known as the home of 3 rivers. There's 3 rivers that actually converge, so it's a walking tour. And there's some beautiful Christmas markets in Passau. You can do a guided cycling tour, or if you've never been, I will say this is probably where, let's say 90% of the guests are going to go, and it's going to be a full day tour up to Salzburg. Salzburg is home to the Sound of Music, home to Mozart, and home to some stunning Christmas markets as well. Up in the mountains, it's a beautiful experience. It's a full day excursion, folks, when you decide to go up to Salzburg. So lunch will be in there as well as part of your package. But again, absolute beautiful experience. And yes, you're going to get to see where the Sound of Music was filmed. You'll get to see, of course, all sorts of great things with regards to Mozart. And they definitely give you time to explore all of the beautiful markets up here. So folks, you're back on board the ship in time for dinner. It's an overnight sail. And the next day we're ending up in Regensburg, Germany. So we've left Austria. You are now entering into your 3rd country. Now, Regensburg is a UNESCO city, and this is a beautiful old style city in basically the heart of Bavaria. So what's happening here, folks, is you can do a city sightseeing tour. You can do a tastings tour because there's some very unique fare that is in the city of Regensburg. You can do a guided cycling tour of the area. And yes, there are Christmas markets here for you to explore, so you'll always have time to explore that as well. Now, we are here for a full day, folks. You've got the afternoon free to wander back in to see those Christmas markets. We are docked right in the heart of Regensburg. And you're on board, and the next day, you're ending up into Nuremberg, folks. And Nuremberg, of course, is home to the oldest Christmas market in the world. Absolute spectacular experience. It's going to be one of the highlights. So, of course, you will get a chance to see the city of Nuremberg. You get a chance to explore the Christmas markets. You can also do a tastings tour if you would like to do that instead. And there is free time because we are overnighting in Nuremberg. So you get an opportunity to go back and explore the city, maybe in the evening, of course, as you like to do. And the next day is when we are disembarking Nuremberg, and that is when you'll be going up to do that beautiful 3-night stay in the stunning city of Prague. So that is the river cruise experience, folks. Now, we're very well aware that this is recorded, but we know that even after a very informative presentation, you might have some questions, and I've done enough of these to know what some of those questions may be. So I'm going to answer those for you right now. Now, weather and seasonality. Obviously, we're talking about a Christkindlesmarkt's river cruise experience. Folks, do not be thrown off by the fact that this is towards the end of November, because it is not end of November weather like it is in Canada. They do not see snow, if they ever see snow in this part of Europe, until probably January. So if you look in all those pictures or anything like that, you'll notice that there was no snow in there. There's people wearing some light winter jackets and hats just to wander around, of course. But folks, it truly is not Canadian weather at the end of November. You're probably looking between 4 and 10 degrees when you are traveling through. So very, very comfortable, obviously warmer during the day. 24-hour safety and security on all of our ships, key card control access. All of the staff are first aid trained. Now, on a river cruise, there's no doctor's offices because basically, folks, if an emergency situation arises, the captains know where they are at all times, can have the ship pulled over and tied up within minutes, and have a doctor waiting to board the vessel. Now, on board the ship, folks, we do use the euro. That is the onboard currency. That is what any charges, if you have any, would be is in euros, and you simply charge it back to your room and pay with your credit card at the end. The smart casual dress code on each and every one of our cruises. There are no formal nights whatsoever, so no need for jackets and ties, no need for any fancy cocktail dresses. And folks, if you are going to bring any sort of electrical appliance from over here in Canada, please do remember it is European voltage and plugs over on the ships. So you will need those little converter and adapter plugs in order for them to operate. But on all of our ships as well, though, we do have USB ports in the rooms right on the bedside table. So very easy, of course, for you to be able to charge your phones. But those are some of the main questions. Obviously, we know that you aren't able to ask. But folks, if you do have any other questions, please get in touch with the Expedia team. They've all been on many river cruises before. Obviously, we've done this cruise with Carson in the past as well. So a lot of you may already be familiar, but of course, they can answer any questions that you may have as well. But Dan, I think you've got some spectacular pricing and inclusions for this beautiful experience that you're going to do, don't you?
We do. We do. Neil, I wanted to point out one thing. You mentioned the seasonality. You and I were very strategic when we planned this. The Christmas markets, there's obviously a season that it runs. We chose this date because it falls over the US Thanksgiving, which traditionally is not a heavily traveled time in Europe. So we knew we were going to have more option for availability and even some very competitive pricing offered to us by AmaWaterways. So thank you for that little tip. I'm glad we've secured that, and you're going to find out now what we're looking at. But that's who's looking forward to welcoming us on board, the entire team of AmaWaterways, and I'm excited for everybody to experience what we've already experienced. Our ship, the Alma Sonata, beautiful vessel. As Neil mentioned, this ship is 162 guests when it's at full occupancy of 81 staterooms and 51 crew to service all of your needs. There are 3 passenger decks and then, of course, the sun deck on top. As Neil mentioned, the heated pool, walking track, fitness room, so much to offer you on these vessels. They may be small, but they're mighty. They're a very intimate product. Chef's table and chaîne de rôtisseur, of course. I can't say enough about the chef's table experience. It really was phenomenal. And I'm going to talk to you about that a little more in a moment. But this is just a cross view of the ship. You can see the lead-in deck, piano deck, has your category D and E staterooms. Those are the ones with the picture window, no balcony there. They're on the lowest level. And then you've got cello deck with a series of different colors for different staterooms, your category C, BB, and BA, etc. And then violin, the top passenger deck with different categories there, and even some suites for those people who want to treat themselves. When we look at the pricing, I'll show you where things are located on the ship again, just so that it can make more reference for you. And when you talk to your Expedia consultant, they will actually show you the deck plans and walk through it and explain the differences. Different categories. These are what we call your lead-in category, your category D and E. You can see the picture windows that they have there. Beautifully appointed staterooms. I think they're about 150 square feet, if I'm not mistaken, Neil.
They are 170 square feet, actually, side to side picture windows. So again, and those windows start at chest level. So it's not like a porthole on an ocean ship. Very bright, very spacious, and you're never obviously the windows are above water level as well. So
And then we move into whether it's a category C stateroom. These are your French balconies. So it's something that you don't sit outside on, but you can open the patio door and you have that little French or sort of Juliet type balcony. Then you get into the twin balconies, which are really quite amazing. As Neil said, the opportunity to sit outside, which is wonderful. Or if the weather's not conducive, you can sit inside, but still it's your interior balcony with phenomenal views. Right up to a full-size suite, if you would like to have it, we can offer that to you as well. Inclusions. There are so many inclusions on this trip. In Budapest and Prague, we have your full accommodation in beautiful properties for all of the nights that you're there. All of your hotel taxes, baggage handling, and full daily breakfast at each hotel every day is covered. The city tours or chance to do the hike, the hidden tour of Budapest or Czech beer tasting, as Neil mentioned, Regensburg for walking tour and transfers, ship to hotel, hotel to ship. We have all of that included. Your English speaking AmaWaterways host or hostess at the hotel, they'll meet us as well, and a welcome reception as well. This is Rachel. She was our hostess on a Carson's tour in 2022, and we're actually going to request if she could come and join us on this one. That's how great she was. All of the AmaWaterways hosts are phenomenal, but we loved Rachel and we would love to have her back with our group. More inclusions. On the river cruise portion, of course, your accommodation, whatever you select, that's your home for 7 nights while you cruise the Danube. As Neil mentioned, all the shore excursions are covered with English-speaking expert guides. All of your meals, early riser coffee, croissant, breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea, you name it, they have it. You will not go hungry on this ship. As well as the main dining, there is the intimate chef's table that we will have priority access to, and the chef prepares the meal in person. You can watch them do this. And as Neil mentioned, it is free flowing wines from the region. This is something that AMA does that not a lot of other lines do. As the ship travels through different regions, different countries, they change their wine menu to reflect that area versus the same wine every night at dinner or every lunch. And your beer and soft drinks are included as well. There's a shot of the chef's table. You can see it. Different tables within that small restaurant in the back. Beautiful, surrounded by glass in a semicircle, and you can see the chef cooking in the back corner there. It's really quite a magical night. There's a captain's welcome and a farewell champagne reception and gala dinner. Neil's mentioned the happy hour, what they call the sip and sail. That's phenomenal because you come back from touring, you get changed, you go up to happy hour, you have beverage, you listen to the itinerary for the next day. The host or hostess will tell you what to expect. You go down to dinner, you have a wonderful meal, you have drinks there, and then they'll top you up when you want to come up to the lounge to watch the show. There really is an abundance of drinks. You won't really have to spend a lot of extra money on beverages. This is what we found. Your coffee, tea, ice water, iced tea included all day. Cappuccino, latte, express can be requested free of charge during meals. Use of the facilities, there's so much on the ship to choose from in the bicycles, movies, internet, as he mentioned. The Quiet Box system was really great for touring and an English speaking cruise director. And with our group, all of your gratuities to the crew on board the ship and the cruise manager are included in our group contract. It's just another advantage of doing an Expedia Cruises group with AmaWaterways. So enjoy Sip and Sail Happy Hour. Things that are not included. Beverages and meals other than those specified as included on the itinerary, of course. A lot of those might be on the land pre and post. Anything you purchase in the gift shop or massages, hair, getting your hair done, etc. We have optional travel with Carson excursions and a special night in Vienna that we're working on that we're not going to force everyone to do. It's going to be optional for those that want to do it. And if you want to come along with the group, you can. We'll mention that as we get closer. Gratuities to guide and staff on the pre and post land portions and any other short excursions that you may take that are not part of the AMA system. Round trip airfare. Not everyone is leaving from Toronto. We have people from out west that book this trip as well. So we can include the air. We're going to look at getting you the best possible rate we can. So we're all on the same flight schedule and the flight service. We can go down to Toronto together if we want to put on an optional motor coach there and Everybody travels together, and once you board that coach in Belleville or Kingston or Coburg, you're on vacation. Travel insurance, highly recommended. You need to travel insured, and we'll help to make sure that you are covered. Whether you have your own or whether you take ours, it's important. Items of a personal nature and any optional purchases, of course. We use Manulife, the most respected travel insurance company out there. They provide the best service and the best return on investment. Let's get into the cost. These are in Canadian dollars. They're per person based on two people sharing a stateroom. And what you're about to see reflects the early booking savings. These are for reservations made prior to May 15. Of course, stateroom allotment, location on the ship is subject to availability. We've set this to give you the best possible price, so we're doing it by check or bank draft or cash. If you want to use credit card, there will be a slight surcharge. We're trying to save everyone every little bit of their travel dollars that we can. So your category E, lead-in stateroom for those twin view rooms, $65.99 per person. That's for all 12 nights. That's your land, that's your tours, that's your cruise. There's not much else you have to spend other than getting yourself to Europe for your flights. That is a phenomenal price. It's over $1,000 per couple savings off of the regular price. Category D, if you want a little different location on the ship, you want to get into a French balcony. The category C, you can see the pricing there. Then you get into your twin balconies with the category BB and BA, and it's all about location, location, location. We will go through this with you when we sit down and talk about it. You can see in a lot of instances, there's not a lot of price difference in the category BB up through to the AA. So it comes down to where you want to be on the ship. And the savings are incredible, but only until May 15. Then our early booking offer is going to be expired, unless Neil is able to get us an extension. But we know that this sailing is going to sell out very quickly. We have a limited number of staterooms that we're allowed to hold. Of course, with the ship, it only has 78 staterooms. How many do you think we can have? So we've got a block for now, but we can't guarantee how long that'll last. Again, looking at the deck plan, you can see where you want to be based on pricing and size of stateroom. We'll go through it with you. We'll give you the advantages of being in certain locations of the ship. How to reserve your space for this tour. We'll make an appointment with your Expedia Cruises consultant. If you're viewing this from our online flipping book, there is a link to an online registration form. Please fill it out. It will automatically generate a message to us. If you have a consultant, there'll be an option to put their name in there, and we'll redirect it to him or her. If not, we'll assign one to you. They'll reach out and we'll help you get booked. Make sure you bring your passport in. We book everyone off of their passport, so there's no mistakes in names or expiry dates. By the way, your passport would need to be valid 6 months beyond our return date. We've figured it out for you. It's June the 6th of 2026. We're asking everyone at this point to make an intent to go refundable deposit of $250 per person at time of booking in the next few weeks before May 15. So if you're serious about going and want to hold your stateroom, $250 per person will do it. When we get to early August, that's when we need the first deposit. It's $1,500 per person. When you add that to the non-refund or the deposit of $250, all of that becomes non-refundable at that point going forward. So you are committed. You have purchased your stateroom. You are going with us. The second interim deposit of $2,500 is due February the 2nd, and that, of course, becomes non-refundable. It's standard cruising fare. And the balance is due at the very beginning of June. And then before you know it, you will be sailing on the Christmas market. So come in and see your Expedia consultant. We're here to help. Here's your call to action. Reflect on this presentation. Think about the years we've lost to COVID. You deserve this trip. You can't get that time back. You need to take advantage of the opportunity to go now. Review any medical or cancellation insurance that you currently have. It can be very confusing. Please come to us. We do this for a living. We will help you figure it out. If you're fine, then take that coverage. If you need coverage, we'll help you get what you need so you travel insured. Let's get in before the space and the rates change or disappear. We want to save you as much money as we can and get you the best rates. We want you to become part of the Travel with Carson tour group, receive special updates and this Facebook group. Tell everyone about your trip, invite a friend or loved ones to join you. The more people, the better. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We can have groups within a group. Talk to us about TD Rewards and RBC Avion reward programs. If you have those cards, we can help you get the bank to pay for your holiday. We'll show you how you can use your points to put towards this trip, the Christmas markets. So thank you very much for attending this video. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope it's made you decide to join our tour. Neil, thank you so much for all of you do. You're invaluable with your information, and you've created such an excitement for this tour. I'm sure it's going to sell out.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, Dan. And you know what? One thing I want to just add in at the end, folks, if you've never river cruised before, the reason we're doing this early, it's very different to ocean cruising. Best offers are out the earlier you book. We're not even talking about Christkindlesmarkets this year because they're 97% sold out this year. We're focused on next year's folks. So they're going very quickly. I'm glad that Dan and Dale and the team have this because these will probably be sold out before the end of this year. So take advantage of these amazing rates that you guys have for sure.
Excellent. Thanks, Neil. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, and we hope to see you soon. Bye for now.